Greetings, everyone. You are watching the Maria Cozette Show, where the left brain meets the right. I have an awesome guest with me today, an attorney and very talented musician, so stay tuned for that. And we have a special performance by a child phenom. You do not want to miss that. And for any further information about the show, you can visit mariacozette.com. Stay with us. You're back and you're tuned in to the Maria Cozette Show. My guest is absolutely awesome today, an outstanding attorney and very talented musician, Peter Hosharian. Hello.
Hi, Maria.
Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you for the introduction.
Yes, of course. Of course. It's all true, and we're going to find out a lot about you and your creative outlet. But first, if you could just tell me a little bit about your educational and professional background as an attorney.
Well, I was went to school here locally in Cal State Fullerton, actually in Orange County, and I majored in English literature.
Nice.
And I decided to pursue law straight out of undergraduate school.
Right.
And I went to Western State University, which is in Orange County as well. And 3 years later, I was an attorney.
Nice, nice. And how has your journey been?
Oh, about going on almost 25 years now, believe it or not.
Fantastic. Wow.
I started out doing criminal defense, immigration law, and personal injury. And now I'm pretty much exclusively doing personal injury law.
I see. And so actually a lot of attorneys that I've spoken to have told me that some aspects of practicing law involve creativity. Do you find that to be true?
Oh, absolutely, yes. Because every one of your clients is a human being.
Right.
And each one of them has a story. And you're there to tell their story.
Yeah.
And when you're trying to be influential or persuade either insurance adjusters, judges, defense attorneys, juries, you're there basically to humanize your client
Right.
and to tell the story.
Yeah,
And,
you have to be a good storyteller.
Absolutely, and that's where the creative aspect of becoming a lawyer comes into play.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I know that you grew up in a musical family, namely your father. Please tell me about your amazing and colorful experiences throughout your childhood.
Well, like you mentioned, my father, he was a accomplished composer, conductor, music teacher. He had a 80-piece classical orchestra that he called the Armenian Philharmonic Orchestra of Southern California. And he did many, many concerts here in Pasadena Civic Auditorium. If you were in the Armenian community in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, you knew who my father was.
Yes.
And when Aram Khachaturian came to visit the United States, my dad was his personal chaperone for the 2 weeks he was here.
Wow.
And he had a lot of stories about that. And if we had more time, I can tell you them all. But my childhood, even when the stars from Armenia used to come over in the 70s, they would all come to my home. My dad would do concerts with them, like Ruben Matevosyan, Robert Amirkhanyan,
Wow, legends,
Bela Darminian, these types of, and they were all in our homes. And my father would always had music going on. We had we still do, same home, grand piano in our living room. Our living room wasn't very grand, but our piano was pretty grand.
Yes.
And my father would play there pretty much all day long and play, wake us up to Khachaturian, Beethoven, Rachmaninoff, and all kinds of things. So we were always, it was always surrounding us. And that's how I developed my love for music. And my brother, who's also a full-time musician, did the same. And my sister also was a piano player as well.
Amazing. Shout out to Greg, for sure.
Hi, Greg.
Yes. Hello,
Hi, Greg.
Hello. So how have you found music impacting your life?
Well, I've been playing in a folk band with my brother, which is a continuation of what my father had. And it's given me a creative outlet. I really enjoy doing it. It's something, completely different from practicing law. And it gives me, it allows me to bring my culture, really keep it alive and flourishing.
Right.
As we it's important for all of us to have an Armenia, have our land and have our country, but it's equally important to carry that love right in here.
Of course, yes, to have a little Armenia within you.
Right, and that really, the music. I mean, how much more Armenian do we get than our own culture?
Yeah, and we were talking about storytelling, and music is the most profound way to tell a story.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So when do you find yourself turning to music? Is it when you come home after a stressful day, or do you set, particular time aside for it?
Well, I listen to all genres of music pretty
Right.
much. I don't particularly. I have so many different favorites of types of music, but if a song's good, it's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when I do some creative writing and I put on music to do that, because it kind of gets my creative juices flowing,
Yes.
if you will. So maybe a classical piece, maybe something by Charles Aznavour or something like that. Yeah.
And you know what? I just remembered that. Do you find it that being somebody that's musically inclined, clearly and very talented, does music distract you when you're trying to focus on something? Because for me, for example, when I'm studying or something, I can't listen to music because I tend to focus on the music. Is that the same with you?
Yeah. I mean, if I don't necessarily. So, music to me, it brings out a lot of different types of emotions.
Right.
So basically, I can either focus on the music, or the music can make me focus on other things.
Right. Yeah, and it has a different effect on everyone. There are a lot of people that have to listen to music when they're doing something. I just thought I'd ask you that.
Right.
And so you have many other creative outlets. You mentioned creative writing. You've also danced before. Tell me about that.
I used to be in a dance group. I danced for Armenian dance group. I danced for 14 years. In Montebello, was under the tutelage of Hosharian at the Sevan dance group, and I also danced in the Ani dance group, Hamazgain Ani dance group in Hollywood for 3 years.
Which was here at Horizon.
Which was actually right on this, the dance practices were right on this set, pretty much. So, yeah. So
what a small world.
Did that as well, and I still dance at, I'm called to do solo dances at weddings or people.
I love that. Honestly, once a dancer, always a dancer.
Always a dancer, yeah.
Yeah, it's always in you, yeah.
That's right.
And then you also sing, so tell me about what you like to sing.
I pretty much sing standards. I sing some Armenian music as well. Like I grew up listening to, Sinatra and Dean Martin, those types of.
Yes.
So that's always been inside of me. So, and I sing those songs, and my family will attest to it in the shower and stuff like that. So, that's
awesome. And so I ask this question to every guest, and why do you think it's important to have a creative outlet as a professional? Aside from your main career, you have this outlet, and you invest some time into it. Why is that important for you?
Well, I've had my own law practice for about 23 years, 24 years now. And I have what we call a boutique law firm with about 6 employees, but I'm still, I'm the boss. All the issues, no matter who does what, they all come to me. So I deal with a lot of stress, and law itself is a very, very stressful career.
Yeah.
And you have to balance it out somehow. And you have to manage your stress, and having a creative outlet is probably the best way to do that, because you can tune yourself out. You got to say, hey, this is when the work stops, and this is when the creativity starts. And that has allowed me to keep my life and my work balanced.
Nice. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for stopping by.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Yeah, I hate to see you go, and it's such a blessing to have people like you on my set. So thank you for coming by.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. Stay tuned for more of the Maria Cozette Show. Know the Greats, where we spotlight a legend. Raymond Damadian is an Armenian-American physician who majorly contributed to the invention of magnetic resonance imaging, otherwise known as MRI. Damadian's research of sodium and potassium in living cells led him to his first experiments with nuclear magnetic resonance, which caused him to first propose the MR body scanner in 1969. Damadian was born in New York to an Armenian family. He earned his bachelor's degree in mathematics from the University of Wisconsin-Madison and an MD degree from the Albert Einstein College of Medicine in New York City. He also was a talented musician, as he studied the violin at the renowned Juilliard for 8 years. On July 3, 1977, the first MRI body exam was performed on a human being. It took almost 5 hours to produce one image. The images were rudimentary by modern standards. In 2003, the Nobel Prize in Physiology was awarded to Paul Lauterbur and Sir Peter Mansfield for their discoveries related to MRI. Although Nobel rules allow for the award to be shared by up to 3 recipients, Damadian was not given the prize. The controversy over who played what part in the development of the MRI had gone on for years prior to the Nobel announcement, and many in the scientific community felt that the Nobel had not been awarded for the MRI for so long due to debate over Damadian's role in its development. Damadian said that the credit should go to him and then Lauterbur, and Lauterbur felt that only he should get credit. Well, in 1997, the National Academy of Sciences commissioned a timeline of MRI milestones, and 4 of the 12 in an initial draft were attributed to Dr. Damadian. The Art of Giving, where we spotlight a charitable organization. Award-winning plastic and reconstructive surgeon Dr. Andrei Panosian of Los Angeles volunteers his skills in Armenia to give dozens of children the ability to smile for the 4th consecutive year. In 2016, Dr. Panosian partnered with LA-based organization Mending Kids to launch a surgical mission to the region, a then first-time destination for the 15-year-old nonprofit American organization. What started as a one-man effort has grown into a formidable team of volunteers and assistants who perform complex surgeries in Armenia annually. The ongoing pilgrimage is unique and focuses on highly subspecialized plastic surgery, including facial paralysis, reanimation, neurofibromatosis, vascular and congenial hand anomalies, and general pediatric plastic surgery. Facial reanimation surgery, for which Dr. Panosian has a rare technique. He's the only plastic surgeon in the US to use it, by the way. The procedure transplants a nerve from the side of the head into the appropriate muscle that enables a person to smile. Although Armenia has made fast and significant progress in the area of public health, much of the local medical community still lacks techniques and equipment to resolve complex cases. Dr. Panosian offers Yerevan-based doctors and surgeons education and training in advanced techniques. For more information, visit mendingkids.org. And now a very special performance on the show by a child phenom. Miss Mary Minassian is 9 years old and an opera singer. Enjoy.
So
That was amazing. Thank you so much for blessing my set
You're
with your
welcome.
beautiful voice.
Thank you.
So I have a couple of questions for you. When did you first start singing?
I started singing since I was 2 years old, and I went to vocal classes since I was 4 years old.
Wow, I love it. And so how do you feel when you sing on stage?
Well, whenever I'm on stage, like, I'm so nervous, but like when I start singing, I'm like, wow, there's so many audience, like, and then I sing good. I'm like, wow, I'm so proud of myself, and my parents are
Yeah.
like always so proud of me. I'm like,
Yeah, I'm sure you feel like you're in your own world.
yeah.
And then, so why is music important to you?
Music is important to me because, like, let's say I'm in school, like, whenever I sing, like, people in my class, they're like, Mary, stop singing. I'm like, but music is my life. Like, if I stop singing, then, like, I don't know what I would do.
We're going to end the Maria Cozette Show on a high note. So tune in every Tuesday at 8:30. Once again, thank you so much for coming. And remember, everyone, stay creative.